Trojan family, what's going on? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud, and as always, thank you for making this a part of your day. Hope everyone was able to salvage the weekend. Obviously, tough outcome out in South Bend for our USC Trojans. I did my immediate reaction. You can find it right here on the USC LAFB YouTube channel. So kind of broke down my thoughts right after the game. Not a ton has changed, in my opinion, since then. But you know, there's obviously, I think, when you let the dust settle, some more semblance you can see, and specifically in kind of the future of the program. But this video, I'm doing a recruiting bit here. We got some interesting recruiting news here for USC. So I'll get to that in a minute. But this evening, we do have our live call-in show. Tim Prangley, the Madman, and myself taking your calls, talking all things USC Notre Dame. So that's the time to vent. I expect everyone here watching to be on live with us tonight at 7 Pacific time and calling in. If you don't want to call the old-fashioned way with the old telly, we'll be dropping the live link in the description or in the chat as well, so you can join that way. You won't have to be on camera, don't worry. But we want to hear from you. So the call-in show is driven by you, Trojan family, and we want to hear your thoughts. And, you know, it's time to vent. It's a safe place, right? Come talk about Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans and the future of this program after that loss. So that'll be the place to do that tonight, 7 p.m. right here at the USC LAFB YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Then you get notified every time we go live on Mondays and Wednesdays evenings. And I'm live every Tuesday, Thursday at noon Pacific time. So to do that helps us out. I do want to say one last thing on Notre Dame. Last week was a ton of fun. All the discourse, all the discussion, all the arguments with Notre Dame fans. It was fun. I thought overall it was very clean and very respectful for the most part. It was strictly about the football rivalry and so on and so forth. I did a video you can watch right here, basically stating that Notre Dame needs USC a whole heck of a lot more than USC needs Notre Dame. It's like 27 minutes of me breaking down a ton of reasons why. So if you haven't checked that out, obviously most USC fans agreed. Most Notre Dame fans disagreed. That was based on kind of the future of the rivalry, the future of college football. What's ironic is that in this actual season, right now, current affairs, Notre Dame needs USC. USC, you know, lost to Notre Dame. Hats off to them. They got the win. But USC can kind of win out and they'll take care of themselves. Like 10-2 might get hairy at some point, but if they can be at the top of the Big Ten, competing for that Big Ten title game, they'll get into the playoffs still, most likely. Notre Dame right now, because the AP poll just came out, and of course USC now is not top 25. That's a whole nother discussion. Notre Dame does not have a single quality win. I mean, I would say the USC win is a quality win, but they don't have a single ranked win. And with how soft their schedule is to end the season, they will not have a single ranked win. Maybe Navy gets into the top 25. Do we really think that's a quality win? You know, again, another discussion. So they quite literally need USC to win out so that they can have at least one top 25 win. Now, they have two quality losses when you look at Miami and A&M, but they could potentially end the season with 0 ranked wins. Now, because they're Notre Dame and yada yada, they'll probably get in still. And they are a good football team. I know they're 5-2 now and no ranked wins, but they're a good team, and they deserve to be in that top 25, I think. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of ironic that all this discussion of this, but like they quite literally need USC to be a good football team this year, or, you know, they have a pretty weak resume. Anyway, before we get into this recruiting news, really quick shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. Make sure to go download the Sleeper app today. It's the #1 sports app out there. Great for, you got game updates, season-long fantasy. It's the best, way better than ESPN or any of the other ones out there. They have a chat. You can chat with other users. But I think I said season-long. The daily fantasy, which is like a pick'em, is a blast. Pick 2 to 8 players across any sport. Just choose more or less, and you can win real money. So when you go to make that first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USCLAFB. You're going to get a match deposit bonus up to $100. That's right. You put in $100, you get $100 free to play with. If you don't want to put in $100, put in $10. They'll match you $10. You get free money up to $100 to play with right there on the daily fantasy. And right now, no deposit required. If you're a first-time user, they will give you $20 to play with right off the bat just for signing up. So go sign up. Use our promo code USCLAFB. You can stack both promotions. You'll get match bonus plus the $20 for free to play with. And tell them Ryan at the LAFB Network sent you. All right, so recruiting news. I thought this was interesting. So KJ Ford, elite edge rusher from the state of Texas, goes to Duncanville, which I just watched the Duncanville and DeSoto game. I was watching Booby Feaster, obviously, in that one. He had a phenomenal game, 2 touchdowns. But KJ Ford is an elite edge rusher at that program. Committed to Florida. Now we know, or if you don't know, Billy Napier was just fired yesterday. And so anytime a coach gets fired, that certainly has an impact on their recruiting. And he was asked, I think he may have been asked even before the firing happened a few days ago, where he stood. And his comment was basically, depends on who the coach is. So obviously his recruitment, I think, is open again, or if it never officially shut down, it's definitely open for business right now. And just announced that he will be visiting USC when USC hosts UCLA at the end of the season, which should be a great game at the Coliseum, rivalry game, one of the best underrated rivalries right here, obviously, in SoCal. So KJ Ford will be here. Now, little background for those who don't know. So USC, KJ Ford was on the top of their list in terms of edge prospects for this 26 class. He was right up near the top. You could say probably top 3 guys they were going after. One of those others being Luke Wafel. When Luke Wafel started to, when there was that, remember in June, we documented all of it. It was like trending really well after his official visit when he was like 1 of 9 and he was the only non-commit. Everyone else was committed in the class. After that visit, it was like, looked like a lock. All right, Wafel to SC, it's happening. Obviously, he's, in my opinion, maybe the best edge rusher in the class. I think he's second, actually ranked by rivals, but that dude is killing it in his senior year at high school. Watch some tape. The dude is just an animal. So anyway, so he was trending, then on basically flies back home, and all of a sudden it's like, whoop, nope, Ohio State up their offer, their NIL offer, trending really well there. So then it flipped kind of like, okay, he's going to go to Ohio State. So at that point, and this all happened within like a 24, 48-hour period. It was quick. So at that point, when he started trending potentially Ohio State, USC kind of turned their sights to KJ Ford. That's kind of the next guy of like, okay, we're going all in on KJ Ford. Now, obviously, we know SC flipped the script and was like, no. Wafel's coming here. We're not letting that happen. They get Wafel to commit a day later, and he's obviously locked in and looks just the part. So that kind of shut the door on KJ Ford, who then I think had a visit. I think he canceled his official visit to USC, if not mistaken. Had a visit to Texas, obviously Florida and others. Ended up committing to Florida. So that's the background on that. So now that everything's happened with Florida, USC is back in conversation and saying, hey, remember we were in on you. We would still love you to be here and join this elite class that we are putting together and building for the future. So he will now take a visit for the UCLA game, barring anything changing. Now, when you look at the 26 class, 34 total commits. Originally, the talk was they're going to get to 35. There's been conversations now that they may end up jumping that number higher, which obviously means they'll have less scholarships next year, but we know that scholarship number is going up as well. So they may be playing their hand of like, we know that number's going up. So as of now, we only have 17 or so to give out in 27. If that goes up, we can give a few more this year and still have more to play with next year. So they may go past that 35 number. Or maybe KJ Ford will be that 35th and final, and they'll wrap it up with that. Right now, they have 8 defensive linemen in this class, 4 edge and 4 interior guys. Their edges, as I mentioned, 5-star Luke Wafel. They got 4-star Samote Kadawanga down at Santa Margarita, having a fantastic season. 4-star Braden Jones, one of the earliest commits of this 26 class from the state of Illinois. And 3-star underrated LA edge guy, Andrew Williams. All big bodies. So many will say, man, 4 is already a big number. Like, do you need 5? I think when you can get this caliber of player, and we know what USC is trying to do in terms of, okay, 24 is a good class, 25 we're seeing is a really good class, and 26 is like the true going to be foundational class for hopefully the next decade plus. Or building that, right? Building that framework, especially when you have that many guys. So I think if you can get a guy of this caliber, you do it. You don't care about the numbers, especially in this day of transfer portal. You just don't know how many guys you're actually going to stick. So man, if you would have told me back in even June that they could have a chance of landing both Luke Wafel and KJ Ford, it really felt like one or the other. Now, obviously, things still have to happen. This is still a month away till he's visiting. But these conversations are back open, and that would be a very huge signing when you figure, just the likes of Wafel, all of them. Andrew Williams, I think, is underrated, but Wafel, Catawanga, Jones, and Ford, those are 4 elite blue chip pass rushers. And then you look at the interior with Jamie Winfield, who is just lighting it up again this year. Tom, Jake Johnson, and Malik Brooks. You got 4 big bodies in the middle. Now, there'll be some after seeing that Notre Dame game of we need to, why not add a 5th in the inside versus a 5th outside edge guy? In this defense, we'll see some interchanging. Obviously, we've seen guys like Jakeem Stewart, 3-tech. We've seen him play 0-tech. I think when you look at Catawanga and Jones, their size, their edges, but they can certainly play 3-tech. I don't know if I'd put them over at nose, depending on the package, but they're big enough to play. Catawanga, you just see him in person. The dude's a monster. And the fact that he has the speed to play edge tells you that he's just a unique athlete, but has the size. If they want to move him a little bit more inside, they could certainly do that. So I think Ford is a true kind of exterior, I guess, edge player. And then Wafel, I think, is another guy that you could kind of move all over just with his pure size and athleticism. So anyway, wanted to give you that. I think that's a really interesting development if they're able to add another guy the caliber of Ford. Rivals has him as the 17th ranked overall edge prospect, 102 national ranking in terms of their industry rankings. 247 has the highest, ranked at 11th overall for edge players, again, playing at the elite school of Duncanville. So we'll see. We will see, but I think that's a good development. Out of this weekend, I haven't talked to any recruits specifically, but I have heard some chatter. Obviously, everyone's, immediately, in terms of fans, is immediately ultra concerned after a loss. It seemed like recruits were still really excited. Like, hey, you can see how you can help as a recruit. Like, okay, these are some deficiencies that I believe I can come in and bring. And 2, it wasn't like USC got their doors blown off. Like, I know there's issues that we have discussed and will discuss that still need to be fixed. But this is still a good football team. And this is a team that now can bounce back and show their true colors after the bye week against Nebraska. And I think recruits see that. And that's the important thing. They can still see the vision and the future that they're a part of. And that's what this year is about. Obviously, this year, if you can end up making the playoff, you've exceeded expectations, in my opinion. And I'm not going to go down some rabbit hole right now talk about that. But for as much as Saturday stung, everything is still in front of USC. Now, they need to get back to what they look like against Michigan in order to accomplish that. And they've got a tough 4:30 p.m. kickoff now against Nebraska at, the amazing road place that is Lincoln, Nebraska. And that's going to be a tough outing right there as well. So we got plenty of time to talk about that. It is a bye week. But I just wanted to say, as of right now, recruiting is still red hot. Like, there's no concern overall from this recruiting class after that loss to Notre Dame. So good stuff there. Good stuff on KJ Ford. We'll keep you posted. So anything else I hear, I will let you all know as always. So thank you so much for hanging out. As always, family, fight on.